sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
Good morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. 2 Game 7s today, which is awesome. That being said, I was having trouble. I shouldn't even say past tense. I still am having trouble trying to decipher how I feel about those 2 games. We do have a WNBA game first, but I didn't watch your show this morning, so I'm also eager to hear what your thoughts are on those 2. Talk about difficult games to bet. I mean, what? So I'm excited to get to those. We do have one WNBA game first, and then Toast is coming on. We going through 15 MLB games. I only have 2 MLB bets down, though. So a lot of it I'm going to just pick in Toast's brain, see if I can find some more. Sundays, as you know, are always tough on the baseball front. So sorry for being a few minutes late. Let's get it started. Seattle at Washington. Storm Mystics. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know if I could ever look at the Storm the same after the other night. Storm are laying 6.5 here, not my plus. So someone in our Discord, Shipley, was so confident on the Storm the other night. He said that he would get a tattoo if the Storm didn't win.
Oh, God.
We were all like the Storm? That's what you're staking this on? The Seattle Storm? My first WNBA bet ever was the Storm money line at -115 just, I think, 2 nights ago, and they lost in overtime. So here they are on the road, laying 6.5. Now, I know you had spoken about the Mystics. You were saying that they should be one of the lesser teams this year, right?
Yes.
So, did the Storm grab a win here?
I think they do, Kyle. I think they do, but I wouldn't take them to cover the spread. I haven't, and the numbers going down. It's down to 5.5, and I think a big part of that is Nneka Ogwumike. She is listed as doubtful. She actually sprained her ankle in the overtime, and she didn't play the last few minutes. In the double overtime, it didn't play the last few minutes. You also had Jewel Lloyd, who fouled out in the overtime as well in that game. And quickly, this team is down 0-2 straight up and against the spread. Both games, of course, coming against the Minnesota Lynx. And you get the other thing that's interesting about this game, Kyle. Why I didn't choose a side is because the Mystics are going to fight hard. That's what they do. They're going to fight hard, defensive-minded type team. And they are also without Shakira Austin. So Shakira Austin's out for hip management. She starts as center for the Mystics. That's a big loss for them. Also, Brittany Sykes rolled her ankle really bad. She was seen in a walking boot after the game against Connecticut the other day. She played just 9 minutes and never returned in that game. So I don't think she's going to be here. She's listed as doubtful officially, and Shakira Austin also listed as out. I just think it's going to be a defensive type game, Kyle. I see the total coming down. I jumped in on the under, first half specifically, under 81.5. I just think, like I said, down 2 starters. I think their offense is going to struggle to score. I think they'll have to rely a little bit more on their defense here. Washington is playing at the second slowest pace so far this season, which also correlates with what they did last season. They lost a lot of offense. I talked about Elena Delavadon not being a part of this team. Natasha Cloud also in Phoenix got her first win last night for the Mercury. In Washington, 2-0 to the under in the first half so far this season as well. I look at the Storm. I think this team is going to be tired. Like we talked about this, coming off a double overtime game, only having 1 travel day to get from Minnesota to DC. And they've also been the worst offensive rated team throughout 2 games so far this season as well. I know we just have a 2-game sample size, but this Storm team is projected to do really, really well. Jewel Lloyd has, she's like the gold mamba, they call her. She's 7 for 20 from the floor. So could she, shoot a little bit better? Yeah, she could. They're going to need, her, Jordan Horston, Skylar Diggins-Smith to play well, especially if Nneka's not going to be there. Nneka's averaging 22 points and 10 rebounds, shooting 60% from the floor. And that's with 2 losses already. So, yeah, I just think that, it's going to be a defensive type game. I think it's going to be slow paced. And without Washington having 2 starters and potentially Nneka not being there, the first half under is always a little bit better for the Mystics because they typically play really slow. So I grabbed it at 81.5, -110 over on DraftKings about 15 minutes ago.
First half under 81.5. Okay.
And the total's also dropping. It opened at 163. It's down to 160.
I saw one. Yeah, I just looked. I saw 161, 160.5. This graphics is 162.5. So it's moved since we even made this graphic. Our community slightly leaning towards the Storm. Man, they got to cover a number eventually.
They will. They will.
They will.
I just if it wasn't off a double overtime, I would be slamming the Storm to bounce back, because I do think they will get one. I just don't like playing teams off double overtime games, and I looked into that too real quick. I want to share that. So teams off a double overtime game in the W that are favorites in the next game are 17 and 14 straight up, but just 13 and 18 against the number, only covering about 41% of the time. Our teams off an overtime game that are off a double overtime game that are favorites in the next game. This goes all the way back to 2011.
Okay, so first half under. So Pacers, Knicks, and all right. Yo, where do I even start on this game? I have so many emotions. As you guys know, I'm always down to fade my team if I think the value. Like, always put my bets first before my fanhood of the Knicks, let's say. That being said, biggest game in the franchise has had in many moons. It's definitely hard to place a bet against them. I will say, and straight up, if Josh Hart and OG Anunoby aren't playing in this game, how could you lay points with the Knicks? And I'm speaking strictly logically based here, because I won't be betting the Pacers, but I as far as making a pick and what I would do if you're asking me for advice, I wouldn't be opposed to saying to leading you towards Indiana plus 3.5. But if there's no OG Anunoby and no Josh Hart, dude, what are we doing? Who is going to be running these minutes for the Knicks? And then basically, if those two guys don't play, the only angle you have for a Knicks bet is you're betting on the Pacers to choke, which is highly possible. I mean, especially on the road, a team with less playoff experience, maybe that's what you're betting. If you're betting the Knicks, you're betting the Pacers to choke.
What about effort, though, Kyle?
Game 7, biggest game of their lives. They're not going to try. That's weird.
I mean, I thought the same thing in Game 5, and they just rolled over. I saw Isaiah Hartenstein get more offensive rebounds. He had double-digit offensive rebounds.
I wouldn't personally. I wasn't watching that game like, oh, the effort isn't there. My reaction to that game was they are the light is too bright. Madison Square Garden is getting to these guys. This noise, like they are outmatched mentally, which is the angle I think to a Knicks bet. Is Madison Square Garden is going to be the loudest. I've been to Madison Square Garden so many times. I went to Game 4 of the Cavs series last year. I had never been to a playoff game. I've never experienced anything like that. I was texting all my friends like, guys, you got to go to a playoff game. I've never experienced anything like that. This place is going to be insane. So if you're betting the Knicks, that's what you're betting on. Or if you have a Knicks ticket and OG Anunoby and Josh Hart play, let's go. I'm in. I read a couple articles this morning. I was trying to get an idea. Are these guys going to play? If you put a gun to my head and ask me to guess, I would say Josh Hart plays, OG Anunoby doesn't. But again, they're they're tiptoeing. They're not giving you any information on whether or not these guys are going to play. So I don't know how I can make an accurate prediction not knowing that information. That being said, let's put it up. Let's fly the colors. Hoist the colors. Knicks up. But again, if OG Anunoby and Josh Hart are not playing, there's no way I can look you in the eyes and pass a lie detector test and saying I feel confident with this bet, because I don't. I think if Josh Hart and OG Anunoby don't play, that I'm on the wrong side. But I'm riding it out. I'm going down with the ship. Biggest game. I think this might be the biggest game of the New York Knicks franchise since I really became a basketball fan, which was in like 01, 02 when I was in middle school. So when the Knicks were good in the 90s, I was a kid. So this is like the biggest game in Knicks franchise history, of Kyle Kirms' Knicks franchise history. And I want to be on the right side of it. So I'm going to bet the Knicks. Let's do it. If those two guys don't play, though, I think I'm on the wrong side.
I'm riding the same ship with you here, Kyle. And I do think it's the grit, man. To quote Josh Hart, we scrap, we claw, we find a way, is what he said. And the home team in this series is 6-0, straight up. The Pacers are 1-5, straight up, on the road. And we just haven't seen the same level of intensity from this team, specifically on the defensive end. I get it. It's one game. This is an extremely young team, though. kudos to Jalen Brunson for Tyrese Halliburton for getting his team this far. I can't see the Pacers locked in, Kyle. I get it, it's game 7. I just don't see it. I think that they're too young, man. The team also, you talked about this in game 6, Kyle. The team that's won the rebounding battle has won every game in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really think? I don't care if Josh Hart can't even lift his left arm. Do we really think that? Do we really think that the ball just not gonna find the Knicks today? I think that's the energy, that's the effort that we really do expect here. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of different trends to kind of back it as well. The strongest one that stood out to me was, hold on, let's talk about the line movement first, Kyle.
Let's.
And it doesn't really mean anything, but let's just discuss it real quick. So as the game was going off the other day, I said, I'm just interested to see what game 7 line is going to be. 2.5 was the number. And this was I'm guessing that Sharp Money actually bets it right before, right when it opens. The line is moved from 2.5 to 3. Now from 3 to 3.5. And that's with Josh Hart and OG Anunoby both listed as questionable for this game. I think that's Knicks money here, Kyle. I do think it's the right side as well. Last thing I'll say, home favorites, game 7, 44-19 straight up. That's about 70% if you just take them on the money line here. 27-11 straight up if they're coming off a loss in game 6 as well.
Yeah, and I never know what to make of that when the line's moving, when there's injury question marks, because I've seen it where, like, Joel Embiid's listed as questionable and the line's Philly -9, right? And all of a sudden the line drops all the way to 4, but there's no update yet. And it's like, well, somebody definitely knows that he's not playing, and someone's betting it. But I've also seen that happen. And then Joel Embiid is listed as in, and it shoots right back up to 8. So I've also seen that Sharp Money with their insider information be incorrect. So, yeah, it did move from 2.5 to 3.5. But let's do it. Let's rock with the Knicks here. And Nick Johnson put something in the chat here. Nick's a cool guy. Hold on. And I want to put it up because when we're talking about this injury stuff, unfortunately, a lot of it's speculation because the information just isn't available to us. But he says he thinks that both play or only OG. He thinks Josh Hart has less of a chance to play than OG Anunoby. So maybe he's right. I mean, I'm trying to just guess based on what I read.
So I read through all the beat reporters, Kyle, last night. Well, actually early this morning. And it sounds like both of them are going to give it a shot and go through shoot around, and then they're going to make their determination. That's what OG said. And then all of the post-game comments about Josh Hart said that we absolutely expect him to play. Doesn't mean that he's going to play, but like if there's a will, there's a way. If there's an injection or whatever there can be, I think he's going to be out there. Granted, the injury is, I think, pretty serious.
And, I mean, not that it's always his call, but I feel like just knowing the kind of guy Josh Hart is, he would play with a bullet wound. Like, that guy,
yeah, me too.
I mean, but it's not always the player's decision, but he's the type of guy that would. All right, so let's move on to the second game. 2 game 7s. This is going to be a fun day, man, especially because I don't have any videos to make tonight, so I literally can enjoy. Like, I might go to my brother's house, have a couple drinks. Like, I literally can enjoy myself today, which is awesome. Yeah. All right.
That's nice.
Minnesota, Denver. This is another one where, like, I'm completely open to suggestions here. But I did bet this already. So, I mean, I'm already in.
I hope we're on the same side, Kyle.
Oh, shit. The total for this game is not 162.5. Whoops.
198.
198.5. Okay.
Yeah. 198.
Okay.
198 solid.
I don't like that total. Kind of makes me that total makes me like my bet less. But all right, let me put the corrected total up because every single comment of people joining is gonna be like, it's not. I'm like, yeah, I know, dude. It's Sunday. I don't have a staff. I'm here by myself. All right, 198.5. So this is what I did here, and we were split, man. We were talking about this in the Discord last night. We're split. There's a lot of people that like Minnesota in there. I'm in on Denver, and I actually got a minus. Oh, wait, no. You know what? Let me confirm. Did I get -5 or -4.5? I'll tell you right now. I have the screenshot.
Both still available.
-4. Okay, so I got -4.5 at -4.5 is -115. That's the ticket I'm actually holding. So here's the thing. Here's what makes this bet so challenging because I think on paper, based on what we've seen over the last month in these playoffs, that Minnesota has to be the play at +4.5. I think on paper, based on the production these two teams have given us, that at +4.5 you have to play Minnesota. But NBA games, especially Game 7s, they're not played on paper. They're played on the court, and they're on the road in Denver against the defending champs, and I'm really betting. It's kind of what I was saying about the Pacers. I think my Denver bet is more predicated on Minnesota choking than Denver winning, because I think the Nuggets are a little bit overvalued. I don't think they're as crisp as they were last year. I also think the Western Conference this year is better than it was last year. So their competition is maybe I don't think the Nuggets are worse per se, but I think the competition in the West has taken a step forward. So the gap between the Nuggets and the other teams in the West aren't as big. It isn't as big this year as it was last year. I think Minnesota could definitely win this game, but I think they'll choke it. So I'm betting on the team I trust at home in Game 7 with the more experienced players. That's what I'm betting on. I could 100% see and go. By the way, I've always defended Gobert. I think he gets way too much flack. I mean, I think he's a great defender. He alters a lot of shots, and people just hate on the guy because he's kind of weird sometimes. But I think he's good. But I think this is the type of game where he just gets abused. I could see Jokic going off, like one of his big games where everyone rips on Gobert, like, how did he win Defensive Player of the Year? Wemby, like I could see it. So I'm on the Nuggets. I laid the points. I don't know. I'm not dripping with confidence in either of these, man.
Yeah, I'm more confident in the Knicks, Cal, than I am on this bet here. But I'm gonna go opposite of you here. And I didn't bet it. I have not bet it. Just full disclaimer, not yet. But if I had to bet it, it would only be Minnesota plus the 5. It's the opposite for me, Cal. I think there's definitely a path for Denver to win, and I think a big part of it would be, in my opinion, Karl Anthony Towns have to get in foul trouble, because I think that's who they're going to put on Jokic. He's done a much better job throughout the series than Rudy Gobert. I'm not sure the Defensive Player of the Year type thing, whatever that is. He's just done a much better job against them, and we saw it in Game 6 just now. I don't think the Nuggets are going to come out that flat. A lot of it is shot making. If you watched any of the first quarter, Kyle, I knew I lost the belt to you as soon as I saw the Nuggets just continue to shoot jump shots and they couldn't make them. So do we see some offensive regression here? Yes, but I'm going to take the better defensive team here, just because I think with all the marbles on the table, I think, they bring it defensively. I also think that Jamal Murray, who injured that elbow, he's also, I know he's going to play, but he's listed as questionable, popped up on the injury report with that injury. And he's been a big part of the series here, Kyle. I went through and looked at it with Jamal Murray having good games. They've won every single one of them. In the 3 wins, 20 points per game, 5.5 assists per game, 50% from the floor, 42% from 3. In the 3 losses,
terrible,
11 points per game, 3.7 assists, 26% shooting, and 27% from the 3-point line. So a lot of it is really relying upon if Jamal Murray is going to play well. And I think, with all the marbles on the floor, even if they win the game, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a cover. I can see the Nuggets winning. I can also see the Timberwolves winning. So I'll take the points here. Give me the +5. I did play the under at open because I think it's completely correlated with the Timberwolves as well. Here, Kyle, 199 was the total when it first opened. That's just, Game 7, 75% after Series 1. Games are 27-9 to the under. I'm sorry, not after series. After the first round, Game 7s are 27-9 to the under. So just blindly, taking that, you'd be 75 profitable 75%. And it correlates with Minnesota. Every single time. These teams have played 10 times now, if you go back to the regular season as well. All 5 times that Minnesota's won, the games have gone towards the under. Every single time that Denver has won, the game has went over. So if you like Denver, you like the over, maybe even the Denver team total over. But if you like Minnesota,
that's crazy you said that.
If you like Minnesota, then you got to look towards the under.
My second favorite bet in this game would be Denver team total over. But I want to bring this comment up because it goes exactly with what you were just saying. Tell me this isn't a nice little strategy here. He goes, I'm going to live bet this one after I see what Jamal Murray looks like. Jamal Murray
Mark said that he said it on my show this morning.
Oh, that's it. Jamal Murray comes out, goes 2 for 2, hammer the Nuggets. He goes 0 for 3, hammer Minnesota. I honestly, I'm laughing, but I don't even really hate that. The logic
Not
behind
at all.
it.
You gotta be smart.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Minnesota win. That's what's a little bit torn on this one, because I really would love to see Minnesota win. I honestly could see Minnesota winning for most of the game and blowing it. Seriously.
I can see it too.
I bet the Nuggets, and if I was to put a second bet down, it would be Denver team total over, which, judging by this total, would be 101.5.
Yep, 101.5. Yep.
Yeah, so Denver team total over 101.5 would be my second favorite bet here. All right.
Okay.
Let's talk some.
Let's go Knicks.
Yeah, let's go Knicks is right. Huge game. I already have a little bit of anxiety about it. Like, I'm already like, I'm already feeling a little anxious about it.
No, same. I had a little anxiety trying even capping it. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Let's go Josh Hart, OG Anunoby though.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hopefully they're out there. Chris, thanks for joining. Make sure you guys give Chris a follow. We appreciate him taking time out of his Sunday to come on. And Chris, I'll talk to you later.
All right, dude. Have a great day, man. Best of luck to the community as well.
Later. So I told Toast 11:30, so it's 11:24, so we have 6 minutes. What's up? What do you guys want to talk about first 6 minutes? I'm gonna have some nicotine. PRB gotta pee. No. It's funny because people making jokes about that has got in my head now. Where, like, the other day they were doing a show and I had to take a piss and I was like, I don't want to, because I don't want them to make fun of me. You should pee now, Kyle. No, I'm good. I'm good. Do you cap NFL or do I cap Nerfy? No, we usually don't bet Nerfies, but we bet a lot of first 5 unders, which would be the same type of handicapping as Nerfies. So if you like to play Nerfies, maybe the games that we like, the first 5 under, take the Nerfies in those games. Toast will be bringing Toast on now. He'll be the first to tell you that Nerfies, the markets a lot of times are overpriced. So sometimes it's tough to get a good bet. Like they're minus 125, minus 130.
I mean, yeah, if you're probably like super, super diligent on an everyday basis, like looking at Nerfies, you'll probably find some value. But it's just, if you ask anybody who used to love to play Nerfies like I did, or Eurfies, it doesn't matter. It's just the prices over the last couple of years have just made it so it's just pointless to play on an everyday basis. That's why it's whether you have like an algorithm that has your Nerfy plays, that the Twitter follower that has a whole bunch of Twitter followers, and you can follow that, or not do it because it's just a waste of time. In my opinion, most people's opinions.
Okay, so Red Sox at Cardinals, and I looked at this game. What is this line? Are they saying the gap between Pivetta and Liberatore is this big? Because you have to say, if you take out starting pitching, that this game would probably be minus 145 for the Cardinals. So is Pivetta versus Liberatore 40 cents worth of price? I looked at this game, I pulled it up on the spreadsheet, and I was like, how do we not bet the Cardinals? That's what I was thinking. Didn't bet it though, so I'm open to suggestions here.
I want to bet the Cardinals as well. I guess how you can say, how do we not bet the Cardinals, is that Liberatore is on the mound. Boston has been very bad, but I will say that it's not like they're losing games like 3-4, 3-5, 6-10. Yesterday was 2-7, but yesterday it was 2-2 going into like the 7th or 8th inning. And then obviously St. Louis scored 7 runs or whatever. So I don't even put a whole bunch of stock into that. I mean, I was on St. Louis. It was awesome. I want to get to St. Louis because they're plus money at home playing a Boston team that's down. But I mean, the starting pitching, you're right, is such a huge difference here. The issue is, can Liberatore get through a certain amount of innings? I don't know if he can. But the issue is that Boston bullpen, the Boston bullpen's fresh and ready to go. And the St. Louis bullpen on top of that is that they're going to be missing Romero and Kittredge. Everybody else, they have mostly everybody else. I would actually probably lean under, to be dead honest with you, at 8.5. Cardinals under, I don't know. Both bullpens are kind of fine. We saw both of these teams explode for runs on Friday. Yesterday, it was a 2-2 game going in there. I have a hard time believing that Liberatore gets hit up by this Boston team. My issue is that when he has had issues, they have been at home. I mean, his last few starts going back to last year, but yeah, it would be St. Louis or pass for me. There's no way I'm laying juice with this Boston team on the road right now. There's no way in hell.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it under.
And keep in mind, Pivetta hasn't pitched for. Oh, never mind. He's pitched last week. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a second start back.
Wrong guy in my head. Yep.
Oh, okay. Liberator. Look, I don't know how much weight home away splits from last year or the year before would play into, but historically Liberator is much better at home, and Boston hasn't been hitting lefties, so there is a little bit of silver lining there. To me, the price is kind of freaking me out, but now that I'm seeing the poll, there's a lot of people taking Boston, so maybe, you know what, I'll add Cardinals to my watch list.
Yeah, you know what,
I might consider it. I thought I thought the price was sketchy and everyone was going to be on St. Louis, but if maybe my vision of the game is just not. So there's a lot of people that like Boston, which means maybe the price is fine. Maybe I play the Cardinals here.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely Cardinals a pass. I think they're playing way too well right now. If Liberatore, as long as he doesn't just
the ball.
Yeah, as long as they don't get he doesn't just get absolutely thrown in, he should be. I feel like they should be fine.
I think if Liberatore gives me 5 innings, 3 runs, we should win. And Boston isn't hit lefty, so I think there's a chance he even pitches better than that.
Well, I was just about to say Boston against lefties too on the year. They're only 5-7 to start with, and then they haven't seen one since May 10th, and that was against Patrick Corbin, and they lost that game 1-5. And then the previous lefty they saw that was Chris Sale. Obviously, Chris Sale is much better than Matthew Liberatore. They didn't score a run in that game either. The previous lefty they saw before that, Kim Harrison, guess how many runs they scored that game? 1. So, yeah, it's Cardinals for me now. Yeah.
Yo, someone in the comments goes, let's get to the nitty gritty, guys. Let's talk bat speed. It's like the best intro to a podcast episode of all time. Guys, let's just get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk bat speed. Oh, man. Wow. All right. Anyway, Yankees, White Sox, and obviously the Yankees have taken the first 2 games of this series. They've covered the run line in both of them. So obviously it's a Sunday. You know I'm trying to get to the dog on this to steal one on getaway day. That being said, I looked and I can't do it. I can't do it as much as I would love to take a shot. By the way, in case you're new to betting MLB, weird shit happens on Sundays, man. It's getaway day. A lot of the times you'll see players randomly left out of the lineup in the last minute. You'll see bullpens managed in a weird way. It's a day where you might be a little less afraid to take a shot on a big dog. I'm not saying blindly go out there and take a bunch of big dogs, but I sometimes will get a little more aggressive, and I've had success with it. But that being said, I also need to find some kind of reasoning, and I looked at this one, and I couldn't find any reason to back the White Sox here. So I'm not going to lay 1.5 or 2.5 with the Yankees, but I won't touch.
At this point, it's minus 150 on the run line. So
right, so you'd have to lay 2.5. This is a straight pass for me.
Yeah. This is, I mean, I've played the White Sox team total the last couple of days, and I've lost. It's kind of been one of my only losses the last few days. I would still lean White Sox. I mean, I understand that the Yankees are hitting the ball really well right now and stuff. I get that. But Friday wasn't very impressive. Yesterday was impressive with the home runs from Soto and stuff. But there's one thing that I will sort of say, and I'm not a Yankees hater or anything, but they have to be able to string together runs with hits and stuff. A lot of these runs are coming off of homers. So, again, I'm not trying to make a case. It'd be White Sox or pass for me. I mean, but the reason behind that is that Chris Flexen, I understand that there's this idea that he's terrible, and he's not bad, he's not good. But his last 4 starts, he's been pitching pretty damn well.
Definitely.
4 2/3 against Washington, 3 runs, 6 innings on the road in Tampa Bay, 1 run, and then a few home starts against Minnesota, Tampa Bay again, and then Cincinnati got to him and whatever. But I'm not trying to make a case that the White Sox win this game. I'm just trying to make the case that I don't think the Yankees should be minus 300 favorites. I understand that Rendon's been very, very good. So again, and the White Sox are much better versus righties and lefties, all the whole 9. Again, I'm just saying that I'm not laying minus 300 on a Sunday.
Agreed. White Sox are pass, but for me, it's definitely a pass.
Yeah, it's a pass. Yeah.
All right, cool. Next game, Washington, Philly, and this is another one. I mean, Trevor Williams has been dealing
I'm on the Nats.
Yeah, I already knew you were going to be, and to be honest, I was kind of leaning that way. Didn't bet it yet. I looked at this game, and my exact thoughts were, I guarantee you Toast takes the Nats here, and I'm open to it. I would like to hear his thoughts on Washington's slumping lineup against NOLA first, because Trevor Williams is pitching well. You look at his game logs. This dude is pitching well. But the Nats lineup has been terrible, and Nola looked so good in his last start. He looked untouchable against the Mets. He was virtually untouchable. So that half of the game, I'm having trouble getting there with the Nats scoring runs. So what I'm saying is, if you want to take the Nats, why wouldn't you also just glance at the under?
You can definitely glance in the under. I wouldn't argue the under at all. What I will say is this. The Nationals obviously playing the same division as the Phillies, so they've seen a lot of Trevor. You would assume that they've seen a lot of Aaron Nola. They actually haven't over the last couple years, only a couple starts. Here's my issue with Aaron Nola. He's been fantastic. I love him, but he's coming off a 9-inning performance against the Mets, which it's just one of those things where the last time he pitched 8 or more innings this year against the Padres, the next time he went out against San Francisco at home, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs. He walked 4 guys. So I'm just not sure if we're going to see the Aaron Nola that we're usually going to see. Not to mention the fact that, like I said, Trevor Williams has been pitching extremely well, all-star level pitching right now. And he's doing a lot of it on the road as well. It's not like he's stacking a whole bunch of home starts together or whatever. On the road at the White Sox, Texas, Miami, Oakland, San Francisco, Trevor Williams is pitching well. He doesn't have the greatest history against the Phillies either. But I will say this, and this is the other thing that's made me. I was on the Phillies yesterday. They came through. I got pretty lucky with that one. I will say the Phillies are winning games, but at the same time, in their last 7 games, they've had 4 games that go to extra innings, and they've lost 2 of those 4 games. I just feel like this game is much more than a coin flip, considering that I'm getting the Nationals at plus 205 on Caesars. Not to mention the fact that if you look at the Phillies lineup, it's kind of like their B lineup: Schwarber, Stott, Harper, Bohm, Clemens, Castellanos, Marsh, Stubbs, Rojas. So again, the Nats are slowing down. There's no question about that, but they probably should have won that game yesterday. I think a nice plus price, like I said, at plus 205. I'll take my chances here today.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, and the Phillies bullpen is somewhat taxed, kind of. So
let me look at that. I think I looked at it, but I don't remember what it was, to be honest. All right, Phillies...
It's not terrible.
No,
but everybody's 2 of the last 3 days. It's just
I would imagine
great.
Kirkring won't go. He threw 24.
Like I said, probably most of these guys... Strom maybe not either. Kirkring maybe not, but Alvarado, Hoffman probably available. But again, they're only going to play if they're pitch if they're leading, and they've worked 2 of the last 3 nights, so the Nats have seen him. So there's good things there if you're trying to get to the Nats.
So as you saw in the comments, there's a lot of people out there taking the Nats. We're actually polling Nats plus 210. So a lot of people playing the Nats here, and that's the only way I'd play it. I guess Nola coming off 9 innings. All right, I'll put the Nats down on my list. If I do take it, it'll be a very conservative play because the Nats just aren't hitting. So if you're putting any faith in the Nats lineup, you're basically saying Nola's going to choke coming off a 9-inning performance, which but
Nola has a big fade at home.
I know.
Big favorite at home. It's one of the spots we like to fade him. So
especially last year. Well, last 2 years, Nola. Take him when he goes on the road to Dodger Stadium plus 145. Take him, but at home minus 280 against the White Sox. That's when you fade him. So this will be one. This would be one of those spots.
True though.
Yeah, I mean with him more than anybody. All right. I also feel the same about Lance Lynn. All right.
Yeah, he just
But he'll get absolutely hammered at home as a minus 145 favorite, and then he'll
go
go on the
Dodger
road.
Stadium and then pitch again.
And everyone's bet of the day is Dodgers over. And Lance Lynn throws 6 innings, 1 run ball. Yeah, that's all right. So Seattle on the road at Baltimore. I have no feelings about this which way, but the Mariners it's Mariners in the daytime against Corbin Burns. Oh, that's disgusting. I know, dude. Baltimore hasn't been getting to righty starters. It's George Kirby. So
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm kind of just rambling. I like giving you like an intro.
I'm going to take Seattle today. I lost with Baltimore yesterday and lost with Seattle the day before that. So I can't get this series right. So I'll put that out there just to say that. But I will say Kirby has a little bit of success against this Baltimore lineup. Keep in mind, last year he did have a 9-inning 3-hitter against them. Really well, coming off a 7-inning gem as well. I expect Kirby to pitch well here today. And I expect Corbin Burnes to pitch well today as well. It is the Mariners in the day. It's not like this Mariners offense is super hot. This is more of a bet on George Kirby for me. Seattle bullpen is not rested and ready to go. Most of the guys went yesterday, but they had the prior 2 days off before that. So I'll take that. And then in the Baltimore bullpen, Cano's went the back-to-back days, and he didn't look good yesterday, obviously. Colombo went yesterday and got a hold. He didn't look that good. Perez went 32 yesterday. So again, I'm trying to kind of nitpicking here at this point, but I do think there's some value on Seattle at the plus money. So I'll be taking my chances. Seattle also 8-4 in one-run games with a total at 7.5. Seattle can win these one-run games. I'll take Seattle at the plus money.
Wait, someone's saying the Orioles lineup is trash today. Did they release a lineup? Let me look that up. Baltimore confirmed lineup.
I mean,
can you see it on my screen? You have it on your screen?
Yeah, I have it.
I see like the guys. Oh wait, there's no Rutschman.
Yeah, I mean Rutschman's sitting. Yeah, it's definitely the B lineup, but at the same time, so is Seattle. I mean,
Julio Rodriguez is the B lineup for Seattle. I hate that guy can't play. They tried to tell me last year he was better than Pete Alonso. No way.
Yes.
He's got like what, a 600 OPS?
Julio Rodriguez?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not sure what he does have this year. 648.
Oh, savage. Wow, that's savage. Wow.
I'm not some huge Julio Rodriguez
guy. Don't get prop. You were starting that argument. He'll like start throwing his hands like.
I will say Julio Rodriguez is hot. 5 straight games with a hit. 3 of the last 4 games with 2 hits or more.
Oh, so his OPS was like a 611? Is that what you're saying?
Probably, actually, yeah.
Rays, Blue Jays, and tell me.
I love the Rays.
Yeah, that was a nice hit yesterday. You took them. Tell me why we shouldn't look right back at Tampa here. I didn't bet this one, but my only lean here was Tampa. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm a moron. I did bet this game, and I didn't take a side. I took the over. Wow. Mind fart there. So, yeah, I bet this game. I took the over. Kind of weird, though. So, I bet the over at 8.5, and it moved to 8 like 5 seconds later. But I did get over 8.5 at plus 102. So, over 8 at minus 110 and over 8.5 at plus 102 aren't insanely far apart. So, like, it looks like it moved a lot more than it did. So, the ticket I'm actually holding is over 8.5 at plus 102. And the reason being, so there's 4 aspects to the baseball game, right? There's starting pitching, home starting pitching versus lineup, away starting pitching versus lineup, home bullpen versus lineup, away bullpen versus lineup. 3 of those 4, I see runs. Both bullpens are a little bit underwhelming. Tampa's bullpen's coming around a little bit, but they're missing 2 arms. So I don't like Tampa's bullpen in this one. Toronto's bullpen's been pretty bad. But starting pitching-wise, you got Manoah against a Rays lineup that's hitting. The only area of this game where I think runs may be tough to come by would be, I think there's an outside chance Savale pitches well because Toronto's been so cold. But it's Savale, and if you look at his game logs, he's gotten rocked by some less than stellar lineups. So it's not out of the question that Toronto gets to him either. So between all 4 aspects of this game, I think there's plenty of opportunities for an explosion of runs. So I'm on the over. I bet this, like I said, plus I got the over 8.5 at plus 102. You can get 8 even 8s across the board now.
For me, it would be raise or pass. I haven't betted. I was actually kind of hoping to get plus money, and that's only available on ESPN and BetRivers right now. So I was kind of holding off. Probably, I don't have very much longer, obviously. I just can't bet the Toronto Blue Jays at this point right now. They just look terrible. They're 3-7 their last 10. They're 6-14 their last 20. In no way, shape, or form, or Toronto Blue Jays should be a favorite or playing good baseball right now. Alek Manoah, I will say that he's starting. I mean, the start against Washington, I think he looked all right until the wheels fell off in the 4th inning or whatever. He finally came back against the Minnesota team and pitched 7 innings, 4 hits, and 3 runs. But that Minnesota team was coming off the Yankee series, and I don't think that Minnesota is very good anyway. I think, like I said many times, I think they had a good 2-week period against the White Sox. Savali doesn't have the best history against Toronto. He's only 1 start against them in Toronto. He only went an inning and a third. I didn't have time to go look at why. He probably got hurt or something. But the next start, his only other start against Toronto this year was 6 innings, 4 hits, and a run. I honestly, I mean, I don't think you guys need me to tell you that the Rays have the starting pitching advantage. Like Kyle said, the Rays bullpen is a little bit taxed, but again, Fairbanks didn't go yesterday, and he's only went 13 pitches in the last 4 days. Jason Adams went 2 of the last 3 days. Clevenger's went 2 of the last 3 days.
I don't think Adam would pitch. Right?
Yeah, I don't think either.
4
I don't
of the
think
last
so either,
6.
But if we have Fairbanks, Kelly, Maton, Armstrong, and then Savali, I honestly think that that's good enough to beat Toronto.
Fair.
So yeah, it's Rays or pass for me. They're Rays are playing really good baseball right now. Winners in 4 straight, 5 of their last 6, 6 of their last 8 or something like that. So yeah, it'd be Rays or pass. There's no way I bet on Toronto.
Someone asked, Kyle, you said you had value on the over or under. If it moves, does it depend on the betting site? If you no, I mean, it can move from a number of reasons. It could just be that a bunch of sharp money came in on the other side. I took the over, and there's somebody betting some sharp money came in on the under. I don't know. It could be a number of reasons. But yeah, I'm on the over. So I mean, that stuff is tough to predict sometimes. I mean, there's times where and also in all sports where I can put all kinds of research in and really be fully confident. Yeah. Bet this Pacers at +6, and then it's at +7.5 2 hours later. I mean, a lot of times I'm on the right side of it, but sometimes it just moves the other way. You just try to do the best you can. All right. And also, like I said, I got it at +102. So you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Minnesota, Cleveland. I bet this one, Toast.
Hope you picked the right side.
Bybee Masterclass?
Yeah, it's Cleveland or pass. Yeah, but yeah.
No pass. Cleveland, period.
I haven't bet it. That's why I said it for me. But yes.
The Minnesota Twins lineup, okay. There was a couple rants I went on about how cold the Pittsburgh Pirates lineup was a week ago. Copy and paste those rants and insert Minnesota Twins because they have gotten they're so ice cold. And look, I know a lot of people. Okay, let me put the graphic up first. So I bet this one. I got a full unit on this. I'm on Cleveland. I know that maybe a little. Where's my Cleveland? There it is. So I know that maybe Cleveland took the first 2 games of this series on getaway day to avoid the sweep. I know that there's some people like to bet like that. I've even placed bets for those reasons in the past. But in this case in particular, the Twins lineup has gotten so cold. And you can look at Tanner Bybee's numbers and specifically his home-away splits and be a little scared off this because he has gotten rocked at home in Cleveland. I mean, actually, it's pretty significant. He's been pretty good on the road. He's gotten absolutely hammered at home in Cleveland. Here's why I'm calling a little bit of bullshit on those numbers. We're only about, a month and a half into the season, and if you were betting Tanner Bybee last year, it was the complete opposite. Tanner Bybee at home in Cleveland was money, and on the road he was a fade. So you mean to tell me through 6 weeks of baseball, 6-7 starts, all of a sudden we have a completely different opinion of this guy? He's completely forgot how to pitch in Cleveland. I call bullshit on that, and I don't know. I think home-away splits as a whole are overutilized, and hey, I'm probably guilty of it myself all the time. So you see my videos, I'm like, this guy, like, I'm doing. So I think I'm willing to toss out the Tanner Bybee home-away splits and cake it with the fact that the Minnesota Twins lineup is abysmal. So I obviously Cleveland at -120, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm betting this right now on DK at -112. Excuse me. Only thing I can say, only that I can really add to that is I 100% agree with Bybee pitching, figuring things out at home. He also has really good history against Minnesota. Faced them 3 times last year, went 5 innings in all of them. Essentially gave up 2 runs in all those games except for 1. And then on Chris Paddock on the other side. I feel like we're getting Chris Paddock. We're getting a little bit of discount because Chris Paddock has looked decent at times. But one thing that I noticed about the padlock is that he's always comes unlocked when he's on the road. At home, he seems to be pitching just fine. It's great gems against Seattle and Boston and the White Sox. On the road against Baltimore and the Angels, he's been absolutely throttled this year. 10 total innings, 13 runs, 20 hits. This Cleveland offense is absolutely rolling right now. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. Like I said yesterday 4 times, I like to play Cleveland at home, and this is where they are playing again now. 14-6 at home. Arrested bullpen behind Mr. Bybee. Get out the brooms, Cleveland. Sweep time.
Cleveland sweep. I want to put up this comment from Helms here. So Helms said home away splits depend on the pitcher. Yeah, and what I'm more instead of the pitcher, what I'm referring to is I need more of a sample size. Now, like when it comes to Chris Bassett, we have 4 years of data that show that this guy is significantly worse away from home. Maybe he doesn't like starting the game off and pitching the top of innings. Maybe he doesn't like having the support of the fan, support of the crowd. There's a number of reasons, but that guy has multiple years of data. Tanner Bybee last year was money in Cleveland. He was a bet-on pitcher at Cleveland. Now, what has he made? 4 home starts? And we're all like, can't trust this guy at home. It's just too small. Yeah, right? Like, wait a second. He had like 18 excellent home starts last year. So, yeah, I'm more referring to the sample size rather than the pitcher. Okay, so community agrees with us. They're all over Cleveland. 72%, 16% Guardians. Oakland, Kansas City.
Left this one off the ticket yesterday. I was pissed.
I don't know what even happened in this game yesterday. Oh, did the Royals cover -1.5? The community,
yeah.
they did?
Yeah, it was 2-2 going into like the 5th. The Royals scored, and then this Royals went up 3, and then Oakland scored. Or sorry, Oakland went up 2. Kansas City went up 2. Oakland scored in the 7th, and then Kansas City scored in the 8th, and then kept the 2-run lead. So there was some drama at the end. Everybody was on the under as well, under 8.5 or 9. And Oakland had the bases loaded or something like that late in the game. So, yeah, there was a lot of drama.
Okay, so it was an exciting one.
There was drama, yeah.
So, couple things here. I didn't look at this game, but Brady Singer, I've had some success betting him at home. Now, I'm more referring to last year than this year. I don't really think I've bet on many Brady Singer games yet this year. Isn't JP Sears having himself a decent season?
Yeah, he's having himself a really good season. The only thing is that sometimes it's a blow-up factor with JP Sears. It's like he looks really, really good for 3 starts and then gets blown up at Baltimore. Looks really good against Miami, gets blown up against against Texas. Then looks really good against Houston. Does he get blown up by the Royals? I'm not sure, but Royals, another one of those teams that I love to play at home. 17-8 at home this year. My issue with them is I don't know what to expect with them from a lefty. You're supposed to, I understand that that's usually their power side, but this year, not so much. Definitely getting the righty starters much better. So not a whole bunch better. It's like a 670 to a 702 OPS ratio. But the thing is that Brady Singer just doesn't have good history against this Oakland lineup. Last year he faced this Oakland team, went 4 innings, gave up 5 runs. In 2022 he went 8 and a third, gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. Everything else is a long time away. Again, Brady Singer isn't the same guy he was last year, but even 2 years ago this Oakland team got to him. Oakland has really slowed down. They've lost they're 1-9 their last 10. So I have a feeling that this is a Kansas City day. But at this price at -175, it's kind of hard to get there. So it's just an easy pass for me.
Yeah, I would love to take a Sunday. You know what? I'll put Oakland up because I honestly think if I was going to take a shot on a Sunday dog, it was like you said, Oakland, what did you say, 1-9 in their last 10? I think they've lost like 6 or 7 in a row also, right?
Yeah, they've lost 7 in a row. Yeah.
Ew. So
they had a 1-game win against Seattle where they won 8-1, and then but their loss of next 2 games. Yeah, it's bad.
Did I skip the Mets game? People are saying what happened to the Mets. Let me scroll through real quick. Did I accidentally skip them? Do I have the Mets here? There we go. Oh, I skipped the Mets. Okay. So we'll go to the Mets after this one. For some reason I skipped over the Mets. All right, so Oakland, Kansas City, and You know what? I'll put Oakland down, but I don't really have any good reasons for betting it. So this would just be a candidate for one of my random dog shots on a Sunday.
I will say, Oakland did see MacArthur and Schreiber, their two main guys, a lot yesterday, which I don't know how much you guys put into that, but so there's ways to get to Oakland. There's
And also, you know, Brock Beaver always used to say Royals at home against lefties. That hasn't been the case this year.
That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah. I don't trust the Royals lineup in any situation. Home, away, righty, lefty, doesn't matter. I don't trust that lineup right now. I think that whole team's a little bit overvalued. But Oakland sucks. So
well, they just keep on winning. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Kansas City 7-3 their last 10. They just keep winning. So
Mets Marlins. Mets, just an excellent showing for the Mets last night. Just real impressive stuff.
I don't even know what happened.
Diaz blew a 4-run lead.
Oh my God, that's right. Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
somebody was like,
Diaz blew a 3-run lead, and then in the 10th inning they gave up a walk-off base hit to Chisholm, I think. So yeah, not only did Diaz blow the save, I'm pretty sure it was a 3-run save. Like he did the ultimate blow up, the worst possible blown save. So here we are, Mets, Marlins, Sean Manaea, who's actually been all right this year. Sixto Sanchez. I don't know enough about Sixto Sanchez to really talk about this game, to be honest. I would like to think, after dropping the first 2 games of this series, that we could probably take a shot and go Mets -1.5 here. But look, I just want to hear what Toast thinks, to be honest.
I will not be doing Mets -1.5. It would be Miami or pass for me. I mean, I'm sorry. Okay, well, put it this way. At this price, at 140, has Manaea looked really good? Actually, yeah. 6 innings against his last start, 6 innings at home against the Phillies, 4 hits and a run. On the road at St. Louis, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. On the road at the Dodgers, 5 innings, 2 runs. On the road at the Giants, 4 2/3, 4 hits, no runs. So on the road this year, Sean Manaea hasn't been just fine. My issue is that Mets bullpen: Diaz, Ottavino, Reed Garrett, Jorge Lopez, Dykman. All of those guys have won 2 of the last 3 nights. It's just not a spot that I'm trying to get involved with the Mets here. I mean, do I expect the Mets to win against Sixto Sanchez? Yes. But quietly, guys, Miami's starting to find themselves in a little bit of a win streak. They're scoring runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5-6 their last 6 games. Miami is. They're 18 runs scored. Looks at their run scored. This win streak. 7, 5, 1. That's the game. 2, 8, 10. So they're putting up runs like mad, regardless if it's lucky or not. They just figure out ways to score. I'm not trying to get step in front of this Miami team right now. I'm sorry, especially at home with the Mets team that, oh, by the way, has a ton of flu symptoms. JD Martinez is out of the lineup. Lindor and Beatty are both feeling the flu. I'm sorry. Lindor and Bader are both feeling the flu, but they're playing because the Mets need wins today. That's been reported by multiple beat writers that I wrote. That's like the first thing I read this morning. So there's no way I'm playing the Mets here today. So Mets probably win, but it's a pass for me. If I had to put money on it, it'd be Miami.
So what Toast is saying right here, look at the Marlins numbers at home. In the last 30 days, the Marlins are a top 10 lineup at home, top 5 lineup at home in the last 14 days. Who knows how many home games they've played in that sample size, though. And someone had asked, actually it was Hairston, was asking what the Marlins numbers look like against a lefty starters. Have they seen any lefties? They haven't seen a lefty starter since JP Sears on May 3rd. They lost that game 1-3. Prior to that, they saw Patrick Corbin on the 28th. Wait, what about Ranger Suarez I have here? Is this wrong?
Oh, that's the one I missed. I missed one. Sorry.
Okay, yeah,
right.
But they're not. Wow, holy shit! They're not getting to any of these guys.
No, Miami's 1-15 when they see a starting left-handed pitcher.
So Paul Blackburn is a righty. He's not supposed to be on this list, and so is Yarbrough. So these two are not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be lefties only. Apologize for the spreadsheet. But it goes Ranger Suarez. They didn't touch him. JP Sears. They didn't touch him. Is Ty Block a righty or lefty? I don't know.
Sure, off the top of my head.
Corbin's a lefty. So they got to a couple lefties back in late April. But the last 2 lefties they saw they didn't get to, which is probably why Toast is saying Marlins are pass instead of Marlins. But
exactly. When you're 1-15 against lefty starters this year, I can't just randomly bet you on a Sunday.
Where's my... Okay, so I would go the other side, though. I would say my move here would be Mets or pass. So I'm going to put a Mets graphic up. You know what? I'll put the Mets down. I'm going to take Oakland off because I'm not going to be betting Oakland. I'll replace Oakland on my list with the Mets. Maybe I throw something down on the Mets. All right. Next up. Oakland, Kansas City, we did. Milwaukee, Houston. Yo, I'm on fire in this series, bro. Actually, we were on the same side both times, so we're both on fire in the series. We took we took the same bets, but only I'm on fire.
You're good.
So we had Houston in the first game. We backed Hunter Brown, who didn't even really pitch well, but we still won. Then we all collectively took Brewers team total over last night. So here we are, final game of the series. I forgot to update the pitching matchup in this graphic. It's not Freddie Peralta, Hunter Brown. That was the game we just saw. I'm sorry about that, guys. So I'll get the new pitching matchup up in just a second. Let me get the poll running. Over 9, under 9. All right. Poll is running. All right. 1 second. Sorry. It's Arrighetti Rhea. And I did look at this game, and my thoughts, Toast, were that I actually think there's a chance Arrighetti pitches well.
100%.
Really? You agree with that?
Yes.
I thought you were going to tell me I'm
look
crazy.
at the two. I mean, he's looked bad 3 times this year. Once his first start ever on the road in Kansas City. Keep in mind, remember that was a series that Kansas City was scoring all kinds of runs. They put up 15 runs against Spencer Brown or Hunter Brown as well. So let's just throw that out the water. He gave up 3. He went 3 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs in his first start in Wrigley Field. Okay. And then the Yankees got to him on the road as well. But at home, he was fine against Oakland. And keep in mind, I understand Oakland's has fallen over the last week, but on 5/13 a week ago from them, Oakland was number 1 in Major League Baseball against right-handed pitching, or at least top 5 in the last 7 and 30 days. So he pitched well against Oakland, he pitched well against Cleveland, he pitched well against Atlanta at home. So I have a hard time believing that he doesn't pitch well against this Brewers team that's at home as well. Yeah, it'd be Houston. I'm on Houston. That's just
you're gonna see what I was feeling. I everything you said, I was having the same exact thoughts. I went through that same exact process you did about 2.5 hours ago. Here's why I said I'm not in Houston. I was hoping to get like a -115. It's a -135. So I don't know if my confidence level is -135 high at this game.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you want to know what else hesitates me? Because we did win our bet on Friday night, but my take that Hunter Brown would pitch well wasn't really right.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like Houston has an advantage in the bullpen as well as they haven't been performing. They do have Hader, Presley, Abreu, all those guys. All of them didn't work yesterday. And Milwaukee had McGill, Hudson, Peguero, and Milner all go yesterday. Peguero 2 of the last 3 days. I'm sorry, back-to-back days. And Hudson, their best reliever, went 21 pitches yesterday. Yeah, I'm on Houston.
Yeah, I'll put up Houston for me too, because that's the only way I'd go. But I don't think I'm actually gonna pull the trigger on this one. And you know what? Houston's gonna be up like 4-0 after 5 innings, and I'm gonna be pissed. But no. I play it at like a pick 'em -115.
Here's the thing that I have holding me off that I haven't bet Houston, but I'm probably going to, is that total's at 9. So they're thinking that there's going to be runs. I just want to make sure it's Houston, the one that's scoring the runs.
And also, these graphics say -130. I'm seeing -134s, -139 on Bet Rivers. So it's just out of my price range. But I do like Houston. All right.
Yeah, Alvarez is back in the lineup. That makes things
Yordi?
a little bit better. Yeah, that makes things a little bit better.
All right, next game. Pirates, Cubs, and Tyone, man. Tyone. So I think right now, if you ask me, because now that NBA is slowing, well, I shouldn't say slowing. It's the most exciting games of the year. But I meant as far as how much work I have to do.
That Dallas game last night I watched with Wyatt. That was a good game.
I was doing the girlfriend thing last night, so I had it on the small TV with no sound.
Oh, dude. Derek Lively, dude. I really like watching him play.
Yeah,
basketball.
he's cool. And obviously Luka and Kyrie got all the press, but
Yeah,
they have some cool. That kid Exum's good. They have some cool young players that play defense on the whatever.
Yeah,
Let's
I
talk
was really
baseball.
impressed with Derek Lively and his energy and stuff. That was really impressive. That was cool.
All right. So if you asked me, so I'm starting to spend more time on baseball. Now that I don't need to do as much on NBA basketball. And if you ask me, Kyle, list the 2 teams in the league right now that you have no feel for. I think 1 and 2 would be Cubs and Pirates. I don't really have any sort of. The Pirates were the worst lineup in baseball 8 days ago. Now they're hitting. Mitch Keller's on the mound. He was terrible 2-3 weeks ago. Now we're seeing him actually pitch well a little bit here and there. Tyone looked excellent. I backed the Cubs as a dog. He gets absolutely crushed. The Cubs lineup, whenever I need them to hit, they don't do shit. I just have no feel for either of these teams, either of these pitchers. So I don't even want to waste your time by trying to venture a guess because I have no clue. I might as well flip a coin trying to bet this game. This is such a hard pass for me.
It would be Cubs or pass, but I'm not betting it because I know that they're probably going to be the heavy Cubs side. But I like the Cubs playing at home during the day. That's a spot that I like to play the Cubs at. Cubs 14-8 at home this year. Mitch Keller, I'll start with him. I don't really know what to expect from him. I can understand Kyle's thoughts on him in these 2 teams in general. He had two starts against the Cubs last year. Mitch Keller did. He had 1 start at home. He went 8 innings, gave up 4 hits, 0 runs, looked absolutely amazing. Then his next start on the road in Wrigley Field, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 7 runs. He's coming off of 2 starts where he hasn't really given up anything. 15 total runs against Milwaukee and the Angels, 13 hits. Like I said, only 1 run. The issue is this Cubs team isn't really doing anything offensively, and they don't really scare you. So I'm not, like I said, I don't really know what to expect from them. And then Jameson Tyone, he's got terrible history against the Pirates. The last 2 years, in 2023 and in 2022, he's given up 3 and 5 runs against them in 5 and 6 innings. So has Tyone looked good to start the year? Yeah. But at the same time, that was against a Miami team that can't hit for shit. Houston at the time wasn't doing anything. The New York Mets, is not a team that I really consider like a great team, especially offensively. Milwaukee has really slowed down lately. He went 6 innings. He didn't give up a run against Milwaukee. And then Atlanta, a team that really isn't even doing anything against right-handed pitching right now, they absolutely obliterated him.
Crushed him.
Yeah, so again, I just feel like this is a Pittsburgh or pass, but there's no way I can bet Pittsburgh because of that dog shit bullpen.
Oh, you said Pirates or pass. I'm sorry.
Or sorry, yeah. So it'd be Pirates or pass for me. And the reason I say that as well, Neris and Leiter have both went back-to-back days in the Cubs bullpen. That's their top 2 arms. But again, that kind of doesn't really matter because the Pirates bullpen is just so booty as well. So I would take if I gun to my head, I'll take the plus money, but I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, it's a straight pass for me. All right.
Because I really wanted to bet the Cubs at a short price at home during the day. And I was like, that seems a little trappy.
Yeah, it seems terrifying. Rangers minus 155 over 8.5, under 8.5. Okay. Soriano Lorenzen. And okay, so I did look at this one too. And my thoughts are, okay. So first off, in what world are we laying minus 155 with the Rangers right now? That world doesn't exist. That's a fantasy land. No chance in hell. So it would only be Angels. But my personal opinion is that Michael Lorenzen is head and shoulders better than Soriano. I'm a little worried about that. In every other aspect of the game, the Rangers bullpen is terrible right now. The lineup is not hitting. The Angels are actually producing offensively. So in every aspect of the game, other than the starting pitching matchup, I think the Angels have the edge, and we're getting plus 130. So it's only Angels for me. The reason I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger is I truly think, and maybe this is a little bit opinionated, but I would trust Michael Lorenzen over Jose Soriano 10 times out of 10. So I do think Texas has the starting pitching advantage. What are your thoughts?
I don't know if I would go advantage. I guess you could say he's better. Yeah. I'll give you that. But I will say that this Arizona Angels lineup has a little bit of history against Michael Lorenzen. It's nothing fantastic. But last year, Lorenzen faced against this Angels team, went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits and 4 runs, struck out 5, walked 2. So nothing crazy. Is Soriano really that terrible? I mean, 5 2/3 at home against St. Louis, didn't give up a run. He got hit up in Pittsburgh, but on the road at Cleveland, he went 6 innings, didn't give up a run. On the road at Cincinnati, 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. Again, that's Cincinnati. I don't really fault him for that. On the road at Tampa Bay, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. I mean, in that start, he walked 5 guys, and they still won that game. I keep on telling you guys this. I'm on Anaheim. I'm on the Angels here. Anaheim money line plus. If you have ESPN bet, it's at plus 145. On DK, it's at plus 140. The Rangers are not a good fucking baseball team, guys. They're 3-7 their last 10, 10-10 their last 20, 15-15 their last 30. They are barely a 500 baseball club, and they're being priced like the fucking world champs. It is an absolute disgrace. Angels money line.
Couple things in the comments. First, I want to bring up. So actually, I'm going to bring up one screenshot that has 2 comments that I want to pull up. First. This guy, Van Den Bosch Jones, he actually commented a couple things I liked, but I'll bring it up now. So let's get to the nitty gritty and talk bad speed. He said last 3 outings for Soriano, he's got his opponents have an average launch angle of minus 4.8. Rangers offense is already slumping, and now going to be facing a solid ground ball pitcher. So if you're trying to bet on Soriano, that would be positive. Oh, Tyler Foley, we didn't stop doing NHL. The guy that I had on doing it, System Plays, he graduated college yesterday. So he had his graduation and ceremony. So he was just unavailable. I don't have a big NHL department. So if he's unavailable, I got nobody to give. I got nobody to give you. So we didn't stop doing NHL. I just haven't had a person. And the comments, when I said what I said about I think Lorenzen is better than Jose Soriano. Actually, a lot of the comments disagree with me. Doug Lane said that he would take Soriano over Lorenzen. Helms was saying the same thing. So maybe people don't think as highly of Lorenzen as I do. I think Lorenzen's all right. And Soriano has screwed me in the past. So it'll be Angels or pass, but I have a feeling the whole world's going to be betting the Angels. Again, not that that would scare me off, but it's just definitely not something I love to see.
They're not. Trust me. They're not.
Rockies Giants. And I mean, this is a weird one. The Rockies just hit up Hicks. I know that was in Coors, but the Rockies are hitting righties and it's plus 165.
That's what I'm saying.
Like what the hell?
I mean, I just I don't know what I'm missing here. I guess San Francisco has played really well the last 2 games. 24 runs the last 2 games. Is that even sustainable? Like, I mean, obviously not, but Dakota Hudson, I mean, I'm not trying to make a case for Dakota Hudson at all. Like, he's pretty damn bad. There's no question about that. But Kyle, pull up the Giants bullpen for me, please.
Yes, sir.
So everybody can take a look at that, because that's just a beautiful paint by numbers that everybody can follow along with. Absolutely. Everybody's been used over the last 3 or 4 days for them. So I actually think that if Dakota Hudson can get through 4 or 5 innings and not just get absolutely throttled here, which is definitely a possibility, but if he can get through that, again, I expect Hicks to pitch pretty decent. But when it comes to the back end of this baseball game, I think that Colorado has a chance to win it here. Again, all in relative at plus 165. I'm not laying minus 120, but Colorado has all their bullpen pieces rested and ready to go. I know they're trash, but I mean, yeah. So it's Rockies or pass for me. I don't know how you feel about it.
There's going to be no Ryan Walker. There's going to be no Eric Miller. There's going to be no Tyler Rogers. Taylor Rogers threw 17 pitches yesterday. So they have Duvall, but he's the closer. He's only going to come in the 9th inning if they're winning. Other than that, he's a non-factor. The Rockies just saw Taylor Rogers. Who's coming in here? Man.
Yeah. So and look at Jordan Hicks. How many times how deep has he went? 5 innings, 4, 6, 5, 6. So he's not going deep into the game. So you should get at least 3-4 at bats against that Giants bullpen, most likely.
So hold on. Here's where I'm a little worried though. Can't you see, and maybe there's no logical sense to this, but can't you see the fact that Jordan Hicks just got hit up by the Rockies, that he comes back at home away from Coors and deals? Because I can see that.
That's why we're getting plus 165 though.
Dude, everyone's polling on the Giants. I actually might take a shot with the Rockies here.
I'm literally I'm doing that as we speak.
You're gonna do it? All right, let's do it. I'm down.
Plus 170 on DK or Caesars.
Yeah, and then it's Sunday, so obviously we want to find a fun big dog to play, and I really haven't found one yet. So I was leaning towards Nats, but I think I like this one better than the Nats. So I think I'm gonna try this. Not even I think. I'm taking the Nats off my list, and I'm adding Rockies instead. I'm gonna bet this.
Hey, comments. Let me know. Is the Padres not playing a doubleheader today with the Braves? I thought they were playing a doubleheader, but I don't see.
No, they're not. Or at least not that I saw. When I made the graphics this morning and I was going through the games, it was just one.
Dude, I swear to God, I read that yesterday. I don't know why.
Just Sunday.
They're doing a doubleheader Monday. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they are. Okay. So tonight's Darvish Bryce Elder. So it's the same game, and I have the graphics right. That means.
Okay, cool.
Excuse me. So, Poll likes the Giants. So the poll disagrees with you. Poll saw those two giant offense explosions, and they're taking the Giants. I strongly disagree. Rockies. Whoa. We only got two.
I will say that if the Rockies get obliterated again today, then we can start fading them again. But right now, I'll take my chances.
One more shot.
Yeah.
Here we are in Reds Dodgers. Plus 142 for the Reds. Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers. Laying minus 170. Hunter Green. I don't like the spot for Hunter Green at all, Toast.
No.
I think he's gonna get destroyed. I think you would have to go either Dodgers or over.
Yeah, it'd be Dodgers or pass for me. I haven't bet it because I'm a little bit late waking up this morning, but as Yamamoto goes, there's no. I didn't bet this last night. So here's the thing. I just want to make sure that Yamamoto goes. Is that 100%?
Oh, I don't know. Let me try to confirm.
Okay,
that.
Because I know that London Knack was supposed to go as well. So if Yamamoto is official, then
I'll check RotoWire, see what they have.
Yes, they have Knack. That's why I asked.
RotoWire has Knack. Yeah. Oh, I was just going. ESPN has Yamamoto, but
no, I know, and Action has Yamamoto too. You're not wrong.
Oh, Action Network has. Okay, so hold on. Let's see.
Sorry, when you look at the thing, it says Yamamoto, and then when you click the game, it says Knack. So it says on the preview, it says Yamamoto, and then if you click the game on Action Network, and then it says London.
Roto Grinders has Knack.
Okay,
so it's probably not. Oh. You're probably right then. It's probably not Yamamoto.
Yeah. So again, I would say probably the best way to deal with this and not have to worry about that Dodgers starting pitcher is probably Dodgers team total over 4.5 at minus 110. It's essentially even. So I would do that. The Dodgers saw Hunter Green twice in 2022. They hit six runs the first time, 3 runs the second time. So again, regardless of who the Dodgers pick, I would be on the Dodgers. It doesn't really matter. So if it's Knack team total, if it's Yamamoto, Dodgers minus 1.5.
Yeah, you know what? My bet. I'm not betting this one, but if I was, I would probably just go here. And I do trust the Reds bats are coming around, so I probably just go, especially now that it's Knack instead of Yamamoto. I'd probably just go over. But nah, not interested in this one.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. Yeah.
Wow, someone just said
betting MLB Sundays. Sometimes it's easy just to push them to the side. Whatever.
I'm going to Twitter right now. Someone just said OG Anunoby on track to play tonight. That comment better not be lying. Josh Hart on track to play. OG Anunoby on track. We're going to the ECF, guys.
Will you go to a game for yourself, please?
Maybe.
All right. I'll take that.
The thought of missing a show pisses me off, though. All right.
Why do you have to miss a show?
Well, I mean, to get to the Garden. I mean, maybe if we do a morning show that day or something. All right. If we do our normal time show at 4 p.m., by the time we're done and then I got to get up to the Garden, it would be just getting there for tip-off. And if I'm going to spend a few $1,000s to go to Madison Square Garden for a playoff game, I'm not going to show up and miss the tip-off.
I get it, yeah. That I get, 100%.
Yeah, so if I'm going to, because obviously it's expensive as hell, which I'm down, it's worth it. I mean, the experience.
Once in a lifetime, yeah.
The experience I had going to Game 4 against the Cavs last year was worth every penny, and I'd pay it again. But if I was to pay it, I'm not going to show up at tip-off. I'm going to be up there in the city 2 hours in advance, drinking somewhere. Like, it's going to make a day.
Bro, we pay $60 for our baseball tickets, and we're first people in line.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I'm going to spend the money and do the Knicks playoff experience, I'm going to be up there at least 3 hours before game time.
Yeah.
All right, so Tigers, D-backs.
I actually don't like going to baseball games unless I know I'm going to batting practice. How about them Tigers? Woo! God, I love this team.
God, I love this team. Someone said Sauce is one of the dudes outside with Spider-Man. All right, so where's Prop Beaver? Prop Beaver doesn't like Sundays. He needs his rest. So Tigers D-backs in the desert. I like Montgomery, but I don't like the Snakes.
I don't like the Snakes either. So, I will say that I expect I don't know if I'm going to get to the actual window with Detroit again today. But I do feel like this price is kind of crazy. Montgomery hasn't even really looked that great. He had those first two starts, or what wasn't even two? Yeah, two decent starts, and then got hit up by the Dodgers. I mean, I guess it was decent against Cincinnati. 2 runs the first time, and then 3 runs the next time in 5 innings. I don't know. I'm just not in a spot where I think that Jordan Montgomery should be a minus 140, 150 favorite with that Arizona team behind him that's really not doing anything offensively. They figured out the things in the bullpen a little bit, but that really hasn't seemed to matter. Again, is Matt Matting a guy that I really want to go to bat for? No. He's had 3 bad starts, I guess, and straight in a row, and he had 1 decent one against the Mets. But yeah, again, it's Detroit or pass. There's no way I'm laying juice with this Arizona team. I guess it's just that simple for me. There's no way in hell. So probably won't be betting Detroit, but there's no way I'm laying juice with Arizona here. Detroit has all their bullpen arms rested and ready to go as well. So yeah, it's Detroit or pass for me.
I'm on board. I'm on board with everything except I have no faith in the Tigers getting to Montgomery. I like Montgomery, so I would go here or pass, under or pass. But I've said this a number of times. I don't think I ever win when I bet an under in Arizona. I feel like I always lose when I try to play an under in Arizona, so I won't be betting this. It'll be under or pass for me, though. I don't know. That's got to be a hitter's park, right, Arizona? You usually see higher totals there.
Yeah, but I think even remember last year they were nothing special. I think unders in Arizona was a thing. That doesn't necessarily mean the park though, but yeah.
I'm referring to my personal bets, so I'm not referring. It's an under park. I'm saying when I bet an under in Arizona, I lose, which has nothing to do with the data of what's actually happening.
No, I get that, yeah.
All right, Padres, Braves, and you guys know what to do. Braves up, easy money. Toast is wrong. Title of this segment is Toast is wrong.
All right, I don't really have conviction. I just don't like betting.
What are you talking about? You had conviction. You loved the Padres yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't like betting games off of delays, and now they got a doubleheader coming tomorrow.
It's the same game.
It's not the same game because now you're managing because you have a doubleheader tomorrow. It's not the same game.
If you're scared the Padres are going to lose, just say it.
It's completely different. I'm not scared of. It's Bryce Elder. Shut the hell up.
Bryce Elder at home.
Yeah. So, again, it's Padres or pass. But I'm not betting this. Again, guys, I don't like betting games that had a delay. We didn't know if it was going to be a doubleheader today. Now it's a doubleheader tomorrow. Yeah. Do I think, as far as yesterday, as far as everything goes, do I think that Darvish pitches well? Yeah. I know I'm the resident Braves hater, but the Braves aren't doing anything versus right-handed pitching here. So Darvish had 1 bad start against Atlanta. He had multiple good starts against him. So again, I'm not really scared of this Atlanta lineup. Like I said, I just don't really like the spot. I don't like playing games when they have doubleheader tomorrow already scheduled. I don't know what we're supposed to expect from the bullpens this situation. But the Padres have everybody rested and ready to go. Obviously, Atlanta does too because they had the day off. I didn't need to say that. So it's Padres or pass for me. But yeah, probably not going to bet it.
Braves up. Am going to bet it. I had it on my ticket yesterday. I liked it. I liked it again today. It seems like everyone's betting the Padres. How many times you get the Braves at home at this price? Bryce Elder and Yu Darvish, 2 guys that historically have significant home-away splits. Now, I know Yu Darvish last year.
Everybody's betting the Braves, dog. Now I'm betting the Padres.
Go look at the poll. Look at the poll.
I don't care. I'm looking at the numbers on my phone that
Screw
tell
those
me
numbers.
what decent and all those
Everyone's
things.
betting the Padres. Everyone. Guys, don't be foolish. Take the Braves at this short price. If you take the Padres, it's going to be 5-1 Braves in the 5th inning, and you're going to be like, what the hell was I thinking fading the Braves at plus 100? If I'm fading the Braves, I better be getting plus 135. This is a Brave spot. Don't think with your hearts. Think with your brains.
I don't think anybody has a heart for San Diego besides me.
So, Padres win the poll. You freaks out there like the Padres. All right, Braves up. That one's going on the ticket for sure. All right, want to do a community top bet? What do you think the community's going to top bet is going to be? Community top bet 2-0 in the last 2. They're going for 3 in a row. If I had to guess, I bet you they go Yankees minus 1.5 a third time in a row.
I guess.
But it's at too big of a price now. Guys, I'm putting these up. And Yankees minus 1.5 is a selection here. But I want you to keep in mind that it's going to be like minus 155. Hey, it's not the Kyle top bet. It's the community top bet. It's your decision. But just keep in mind, the price is going to be insane on that.
Are you going to bet the Cards? Do I have to bet them with you?
Yeah, damn, they are on my final 5. I probably will put it. The line's moving towards the Red Sox. Yeah. All right, community top bet. Cash your votes.
Still plus 110.
No, I know, but it was plus 105 when we were talking about it just several minutes ago.
Oh.
And what do you know? It's going to be Yankees minus 1.5 again. Community. You know what? You hit 2 in a row, though. Who am I to judge?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so first one, Yankees minus 1.5 again. Community's like, I don't care. I'll lay minus 180 with it. All right. Next up, Rays, Blue Jays. They like the Rays. Twins, Guardians. They like the Guardians with us. Mets, Marlins. They like the Marlins probably because the Marlins have been winning. Athletics, Royals. They like the Royals. That'll be Royals minus 1.5. All right. What's the second finalist here, community? Just leave Mets, Marlins off. Cast your votes. Cast your votes. Toast, you got another episode of plate coverage coming tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes. Yes, 100%. Got to get into the nitty-gritty.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk bat speed. It's like an all-time line. We were going to be saying that in the office for months. Guys, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk bat speed.
Oh, my God.
For those of you that don't understand the joke, so Toast has a podcast with the commish where they kind of do like a weekly report on what's going on with the MLB, trending teams, trending players, that kind of thing. And their last episode, we put it on in the office because we obviously don't know what they're talking about. They send it in and we upload it and then we just put it on. So I'm watching it for the first time just like everyone else. And it starts out, it's like, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk bat speed. Yo, it's freaking hilarious. We were like, did he just say that's how he started his episode? Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk bat speed.
I just got to say, the amount of respect that I have for people that do podcasts now after trying to do one is just through the roof. Like, it is so hard sometimes. Like, I watch it back and I'm like, that's not what I was trying to say.
I know, it's hard. Let's get right to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk bat speed. Oh, what the best opening line to a podcast ever. All right, third finalist for the community top bet. Oh, man. Yeah, that your podcast though has gotten a lot of positive comments. Like a lot of people like it.
Yeah, it's just I'm kind of hard on myself. I just, like I said, I know it's a lot of work. It's like you just have to learn how to do it, and yeah. I respect a lot of people that can do that.
So there's a lot of people when it comes to podcasts where you'll see a lot of someone will start a podcast and they'll put out one episode and it'll get views and positive comments because people are just supportive of someone they like. And then second episode and third episode will tail off. But yours hasn't. People are coming back to watch the second, to watch the third, which means they weren't just being nice. They genuinely are interested. That's how you tell. Because everyone's going to, if you support somebody that you personally like, you'll listen to the first episode and be like, awesome, man. But if they're coming back to listen to the third, fourth episode, that's genuine. That means they like the content.
Which is a good feeling, that's for sure.
Yeah, it really is good. I'm not even like a podcast guy. We listen every week.
I appreciate it.
All right, so Brewers. So the last 3 games, we got Dodgers -1.5. Tigers, D-backs. They like the Tigers there. And then Padres, Braves. You suckers like the Padres. You're going to be sorry.
I put them on my list. I got 6 bets. All of them plus money except for one, the Cleveland. So we'll see what happens. Sunday.
I miss old Scoop. Actually, Scoop will be returning. Scoop's not a baseball guy. And people have asked about Andy. He doesn't do baseball. Andy does college football, college basketball. So Scoop's going to return for some of the college football stuff. Andy will be on for the college football. So, yeah, they're still around. They're just, this isn't their time of year. Baseball is pretty much me, Toast, and Prop Beaver. Dodgers -1.5. So there's our finalists. So let's see if the community is going to nail 3 top bets in a row. Yankees -1.5. Guardians money line. Brewers money line. Dodgers -1.5. All right, cast your votes. What is the community top bet? Going for 3 in a row. Is it going to be Yankees?
Period.
Are they going to do it again? I think they're going. I think they're going to do it again. They're going Yankees -1.5 again. Someone said
Cleveland.
Someone said Knicks.
Cleveland.
Someone said Knicks dropped to 3.5 on FanDuel. They were 3.5 earlier. So if they went up to 4, it was during the show because when we started the show, they were at 3.5. So maybe it went 3.5 to 4 and is now back at 3.5. Kyle, are you on the Braves today? Yeah, I have a brain. Dude, Cleveland's going to win.
I hope Indiana wins and the Braves lose.
Who do you like? Are you going to bet T-Wolves Nuggets? I know you're not the biggest NBA guy.
Whatever you have on the ticket, I'll bet.
Nuggets -4.5 is what I bet.
But I'll probably end up doing Nuggets.
It's not till you have time. It's not till 7:30. So it's
yeah.
That game and Sunday Night Baseball will be the only 2 things on.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what a Nuggets Knicks moneyline parlay. That's probably what I'll do.
I'm probably going to be the most bet parlay on the board today.
Really?
Well, I mean the 2 favorites in the 2 Game 7s.
Oh yeah, I didn't even.
Everyone's going to hammer that.
Never mind.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying everyone's going to hammer that.
As soon as you said that, I'm glad that you said that because I didn't think about it like that.
There's 2 Game 7s, and you're going to parlay the money line for both favorites.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
All right, so I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. It looks like Yankees -1.5 is going to win. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll.
I'll probably watch some of those NBA games. That Nuggets game that Mavs game last night was really fun to watch.
Dude, the playoffs have been great. So yeah, this should be a great day. And the community top bet is for the 3rd consecutive day. Yankees -1.5. But who am I to judge? Because the first 2 days it hit. So you know what? I'll get you the odds on it just to give you an idea of how crazy you are. But you are laying -1.5.
-150.
-150. And you know what? I want you guys to see it. I want you to live with that. There you go. Yankees -1.5. You're paying -150 for a community, but it's not the Kyle top bet. It's the community top bet. So going for 3 in a row. Yankees -1.5, -150. Thanks for watching. Let me look at tomorrow's schedule real quick. Most likely on Mondays we're going to be on. So we don't got to have to come on early for the Braves Padres doubleheader. Braves easy bet. Don't need to come on to tell you that. And then we have the Toronto game at 3. Let's just do normal time. Normal time tomorrow. So 4 p.m. or depending on if there's NHL, maybe 3:45 to get the extra sports. But 4 p.m. normal start time Eastern time tomorrow. Thanks as always for watching. I'm going to post my MLB bets on the site right now for those of you that have Sauce Network Plus. Yeah, let's have a great Sunday. Everyone, enjoy your day. Should be really fun. Enjoy the basketball games. Definitely bet responsibly. Don't bet so much that's going to ruin what could be a really great Sunday. So 100%. Let's have a good one. I'll talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow.
Have a good night, guys.